Hello and welcome to the next in this series of videos showing basic functionality of Db2 administration tool. In this session, we're going to look at the migration command, and that's a command that you can use for creating copies of environments, whether it be a database down to a table, and it allows you to generate the jobs to take the DDL, convert the DDL. So you probably want to change schema, you might want to change database name, you might want to change other attributes. It will build the jobs to take the source object, optionally unload it, build the DDL, optionally take the catalog statistics as well, then to convert it, recreate the new objects or create the new objects, and then run loads onto it. So quite a simple process, simple steps. And it's based around something that we cover in another video, which is the generating of the DDL. So let's get started. I'm going to use my favorite database again, .com, and we're going to, if we remember the sort command, so we're going to sort on that name, and we're going to migrate this. Right, so I could type mig here quite easily, or just to show that it does work, we'll mention it in the basic catalog navigation. I can get rid of all of them, all the others, and then just type mig on here. So that's just taken that one database as a source. Included absolutely everything into here. I can add RI, history tables, archive tables. I can choose how to do them. I can also show what tables are in there. I can take out, if I don't want one of the tables to table spaces to come across, I can take it out of the list. And if I'm doing more than one database that wasn't on that original list, I can add more databases as I go along. So this is the starting point. We can see here that I haven't added RI. I could, if I do mig RI, it's going to go around checking to see if any RI exists. I know there's no history or archive tables, and I know there's no RI on this one, but it's doing all the checks for me. So when that's done, easy enough, I can either put the cursor on next or type next, but put the cursor on next. And we'll come to a panel that you'll grow to recognize. So the work list name. So a work list is where all the instructions are built and kept in effect. So give it a name. If you're using work statement list, which we'll cover in another video, then that's what you'll look for. Otherwise, it's used in the dataset names that will be generated. So this dataset information is the library that I'm going to put my JSL into. And this is my target subsystem, which happens to be the one I'm in anyway. But I could push it on to another subsystem. If we look down to the migrate options, so I'm going to generate the mig jobs in batch. So what I could do is I could bundle this all up into a batch, submit it, and it would build all the jobs in batch and do exactly what we're going to see that I'm going to do online. We could do a work statement list, but we're not going to because we haven't actually covered them in anything so far. But just think of it, it's a script to implement what you're doing. It's something that you can take and you can just pick up and you can run, or you could clone it, change it, so you can just have one work statement list and you clone it into multiple work statement lists to do the same thing multiple times, but to different targets. And I'm just going to make one job up. So I'm going to have, what will happen is I'll have one target job, one subset, a source job, and I'll have a cleanup job. I could break it all out, but I'm not going to for ease. So this is what my members are going to be called in that library. They're going to be bid2 and then an extra couple of characters. So what do I want to migrate? I want to migrate the DDL. I want to migrate the data, and I want to migrate the catalog statistics. I can go for the whole lot. Do I want to drop when it's on running? If I find it, potentially yes, but I know that I don't have anything under this name, so I've said no. Do I want to use the unload utility? Yes, I could use HPU if I have it, or I could use the facility of the cross-loader within the load utility. What do I want to run afterwards? For brevity, I'm saying no, but I could image copy, I could run rebinds, etc. The gen options at the bottom, what options I want to run with, funny enough. I have this panel set to always show. It's easier, and we should see it now. So show this panel prior to each use. So this is what do I want to migrate. So I want to do everything. So I'm doing absolutely everything. Do I want to take across the options for access? Select yes for ease of use. Other options I want to have. Now, the one that's important is these ones. So if I do want to start changing things, I can do some nice simple changes. Do I just want to change the database or the schema, storage groups, etc. Very nice and simple. But if we have a look at masking, now masking allows you to become much more complex. So I happen to have a mask here, and here I'm going changing all all the names I find to Tom B to Tom Q, database names, schemas. I could do vast amounts here, and this is something that is in the object comparison side of things and the change management side. So it is something that is used there elsewhere as well. But the one to note is that if I use name, for example, it works on a hierarchy, so everything below it has changed. There's a whole scheme thing. You can rename databases, you can overwrite things. So it's quite a powerful thing. But in this case, we're just using a migrate, so we're just going to use the simple options. So I've said it's online, and now it's generating. Slight warning because I'm using masking. It's just warning me that some changes that have been there. That will go once. So there we go. I'm done. So this is where I asked it to be done. Generate to, and this, I've got 3 jobs here: bid S1, T1, and SE. So let's have a look at S1 first. Here we go. So multiple steps. The Gen SQL. So this is, I'm going to go and get all the DDL that you've asked me to have. And then I'm going to do some unloads, and I'm going to do any conversion needed. For example, if I've changed the schema, I obviously want to change the schema so I don't reload the data back from where it came. Here's a list of everything I've got. So this S1 relates to DP2 to EPA tables. So I've gone to get the mask. So again, I've gone to get that first, and now I'm generating the SQL. As you can see, SIA1A, these are all the options I had. This is the object I'm doing. And here's where I start running the unloads. So we keep going down, and then we're going to have some conversions. So that's the first job that runs. The second one takes the output from the previous one. It runs the create, and then it's running all the loads, any checks, any copies, anything that you've asked for. And that's it. Once I run these, it'll take a short while to run, so I'll pause the video and we'll restart it once it's finished. I will have a set of objects under the database name TomQ. That's nice and easy. I've asked for the catalog statistics as well, and I'll show you those once they've all been generated. So let's run these. I'll run the first one, then we'll come back in a later. Oh, sorry, the third job. The third job basically tells you that what you need to move around, what's in where, so you can always find. So once it's all done, these are the ones that you can safely delete. So that's like a cleanup job. So let's set the first one going, and we'll come back later. So those 2 jobs have executed, and I've just PS3'd, and I'm back to where I was in the migrate. So let's go back and see what has happened. So there we go. We've got an extra database at the bottom, and it was created today, the 14th. Let's have a look. Yeah, so all the tables are there. And all the data is there. If we do a display, all there. So what we can go and have a look at is the DDL that was created. So these are all the files that we created, and we'll look a little bit closer at those in one moment. So this is the generated DDL. So as you can see here, the great database is TomQ. So I've already changed those. This is where you get to see where the original was. So it's come from Tom B, change it all to Tom Q, you can find it all in there. So if I then do, if I go to the bottom, you can see here are the catalog statistics that I asked to be brought across. So we've taken all those as well. I've changed all of it. I've changed qualifiers inside the catalog statistics. And to have a look a little bit closer at what the process is. So these are the data sets that are generated. So first one, CNT. That is a control card for the tables. As you can see here, I'm loading the data. Tom B, the table name. Now remember I said that there was a conversion exercise that goes on. So that is then converted into this CNC file. And you can see here is that we've changed it into Tom Q. So that's all good. That's all changed. These are a couple of the load files, and here's the data. So if we went back to look at those jobs, we'd see that the suffix S1 related to table DP2. So that's the whole process. You generate, you get the S1 job, which is the source, the T1 job, which is the target, the SE job, which is the cleanup, unless you break it out into not into one job. So we'll generate more jobs depending on how you ask it. So you could do some parallelism for the loads, for example, if you had a lot of data to come through. So that's Migrate. You can do smaller units than database. You can do multiple databases. And you can choose whatever scope that you would like. The masks that we saw, you can create those when you put yes there, or if you go into CM option, you can go into option 2 and you can create masks there. Masks you can do an awful lot with, and they play a lot of their importance, and they play a large part in. That's it for the migration. The next session we'll be looking at generating DDL, how to create objects from scratch, how to generate a hierarchy of objects, and to make changes as you've seen here. So speak to you on the next video. Thank you.